In the tranquility of his home, Mark's serene nights began to morph into a chilling opera of ghostly noises. The comforting silence of his sanctuary was shattered by whispers that seemed to emanate from the shadows themselves. The hushed tones danced around the corners of his mind, playing a macabre game of hide-and-seek with his sanity. The sound was as elusive as it was terrifying, leaving him frozen in a cold grip of dread. His home, once a haven of relaxation and solitude, now hosted an ensemble of unseen specters. Night after night he would retire to bed, only to be kept awake by the chilling symphony that echoed through his once peaceful abode. The silence of the night was punctured by unexplained sounds, the source of which was always just out of reach, always lurking in the corners of his vision. As the days turned into weeks, the haunting noises were accompanied by a series of unsettling disturbances. Everyday items began to disappear, only to resurface in the most unlikely places. His keys, his phone, his wallet, all vanished and reappeared as if moved by unseen hands. Each morning he would find his furniture shifted slightly from their original positions, as if the house itself was subtly rearranging itself while he slept. Compelled by the inexplicable events, Mark decided to investigate the spectral mysteries that plagued his once safe haven. He could no longer ignore the fear that gnawed at him, the fear that his home was being violated by an entity he could neither see nor touch. He was a man trapped in his own home, a prisoner to the chilling occurrences that had turned his sanctuary into a theater of the supernatural. The spectral mysteries plaguing his once safe haven had Mark in a vice of terror. His nights, once filled with restful slumber, were now consumed by a fear of the unknown. The unsettling nights had begun, and Mark found himself on the precipice of a journey that would challenge his understanding of reality. A journey into the realm of the unseen, where the thin line between the natural and the supernatural was about to blur in the most terrifying way. With resolve, Mark armed his home with cameras, hoping to unmask the unseen intruder. The installation of these electronic eyes was his last and only hope to shed light on the unsettling disturbances that had been plaguing his sanctuary. As the sun disappeared each day, giving way to the night's embrace, every corner of Mark's home was under surveillance, every nook recorded, every shadow documented. Every morning Mark would sit down with a steaming cup of coffee, his gaze fixed on the screen, replaying the footage from the night before. An eerie silence would fill the room as the footage rolled, revealing the nocturnal activities of his home. What he saw was far from mundane, far from normal. The footage unveiled a malevolent force at play, a spectral presence that toyed with the laws of reality. Objects would disappear into thin air, vanishing without a trace, only to reappear in the most unlikely of places. A book from the shelf in the study would find its way to the kitchen counter. A vase in the living room would be displaced to the hallway. It was as if an invisible hand was moving things around, a spectral puppeteer pulling the strings. The furniture wasn't spared either. Chairs would shift positions, tables would inch closer to the walls, and the sofa in the living room would rotate ever so slightly. It was as if the furniture had acquired a mind of its own, dancing to the tune of this unseen maestro. The footage became a chilling spectacle, a haunting ballet of the supernatural. Each frame was a testament to the presence of something beyond comprehension, beyond the realms of the seen and the understood. It served as a dreadful reminder that Mark was not alone, that his home was a stage for an entity unseen, an entity that defied the natural laws. The footage captured a chilling spectacle, a haunting ballet of the supernatural. This was not just a house under surveillance, but a portal to a world that exists parallel to ours, a world that occasionally intersects with our reality, leaving behind traces of its eerie existence. As paranoia gnawed at his sanity, Mark became an unwilling audience to the spectral performance. The familiar walls of his home began to echo with an eerie resonance, transforming his once comfortable dwelling into an uncanny realm. The mundane rituals of daily life slipped into a chilling ballet of shadows and whispers, each moment tainted by an unseen presence. The air seemed to shiver with an otherworldly chill, as if a spectral chill had seeped into the very foundations of his home. Every corner held a potential specter, every closed door a portal to the unknown. Mark moved as a stranger within his own home, each room a stage for an unseen performance that defied the laws of reality. The apparitions began as mere flickers at the edge of his vision, elusive and ethereal. They danced in the periphery, vanishing when he turned to face them, like dancers slipping behind a curtain. Yet their presence was felt, a spectral imprint that lingered long after their disappearance. Soon, the whispers joined the spectral ballet. Disembodied voices echoed through the empty halls, their words an indecipherable murmur. They seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, a ghostly chorus that filled the silence with a haunting melody. The whispers wrapped around him like a spectral shroud, each word a chilling note in an otherworldly symphony. Mark was no longer alone in his home. He shared his space with unseen entities, spectators to his life, and performers in their own spectral drama. The once familiar spaces of his home had become the backdrop for a haunting tableau, each room a stage for the phantoms that now claimed them. The line between the living and the unseen blurred, the walls of reality thinning to a gossamer veil. Mark's home was no longer his own, it was a realm where the supernatural held sway, a theater for the spectral performance. His once secure home had transformed into a stage where the supernatural reigned. The echoes of the unseen performers lingered, a chilling reminder of the spectral performance that had claimed his sanctuary. One evening Mark settled into his living room unaware of the encroaching darkness. His home, once a haven of tranquility, had turned into a playground for the unseen. The banality of his evening routine was no different than any other night. The TV murmured in the background, the flickering screen casting long dancing shadows across the room. Mark, engrossed in his favorite show, paid little mind to the shifting darkness around him. He laughed at the familiar sitcom jokes, a comforting echo of normalcy in the otherwise eerie atmosphere. The ticking clock on the wall, however, was the ominous metronome to an impending crescendo of the unknown. As the evening wore on, Mark rose from his comfortable couch. The muffled echo of the TV followed him as he padded his way to the bathroom, his footsteps leaving a ghostly imprint on the wooden floors. The bathroom light flickered on, casting a warm, inviting glow in the hallway. He entered, closing the door behind him, oblivious to the fact that it was the last time he would be seen. The house fell into an eerie calm, the only sound the low hum of the TV from the living room. The bathroom door stood as a silent sentinel, the last barrier between Mark and the rest of the world. The cameras installed throughout the house continued to roll, capturing the empty living room and the closed bathroom door. As the minutes turned into hours, the unsettling reality began to dawn. Mark, who had entered the bathroom, never emerged. The light that had previously spilled from under the door now stood as a chilling beacon of the inexplicable. The house, once filled with life, now echoed with an unsettling quietness. Unknowingly, Mark had invited the paranormal into his life, and it had accepted the invitation. His mundane routine had been the stage for his final performance, his last act before stepping into the spectral shadows, leaving behind a world that was yet to comprehend the chilling reality of his vanishing. Days passed, and Mark's home descended into an eerie silence. This once vibrant abode, filled with laughter and life, now echoed with an unsettling quietude, an uncanny contrast to the spectral commotion that had once reigned. Mark's friends, initially dismissing his tales of haunting as mere figments of an overactive imagination, began to worry. Their concern grew with each unanswered call, every unopened door, until the silence from Mark's end became a deafening alarm. Prompted by this alarming quiet, Mark's friends contacted local law enforcement, urging them to conduct a wellness check on their reclusive friend. The police, though skeptical, agreed to investigate the matter. As they approached the house, they felt a chill skitter down their spines, a foreboding sense of dread that seemed to emanate from the silent structure. Upon entering, they were immediately engulfed in an oppressive stillness, the kind that clings to the air and weighs heavy on the soul. It was as if the house itself held its breath, keeping its secrets locked away. The officers navigated through the eerily quiet rooms, their footsteps echoing in the unnatural silence. They noticed the cameras, their unblinking eyes capturing every moment in this house of horrors. As they made their way to the bathroom, they were met with a closed door, an ominous barrier that concealed the inexplicable fate of Mark. A chill of apprehension gripped them as they reached out to turn the knob, not knowing what horrors awaited them on the other side. The house stood as an ominous testament to the horrors within, shrouded in an oppressive stillness. It was a chilling reminder of the fragility of reality and the thin veil separating our world from the unseen. Every creak, every shadow, every whisper seemed to echo with a spectral resonance, a haunting melody composed in the key of fear. But the melody had stopped, and in its place was a silence that was far more unsettling, a silence that held its own tale of terror. The bathroom door, a chilling barrier, hid the inexplicable fate of Mark. Within the cold, sterile walls of the police station, The surveillance footage from Mark's house played back, a silent testament to the uncanny events that had unfolded. Officers, their faces drawn in disbelief and trepidation, watched with bated breath as the scenes unfolded. The footage from that fateful night was mundane at first. Mark, ensconced in his living room, was captured in the routine of his ordinary life. Yet, the oppressive shadows lurking in the corners of the frame hinted at the unseen terror that was yet to come. Then came the moment that would leave the officers grappling with the impossible. Mark, stepping into the bathroom, closed the door behind him. The footage, spanning hours into days, revealed no further sign of him. There were no windows in this room, no alternate escape routes. Yet, Mark was gone. The officers scoured the footage, rewinding, pausing, playing it over and over again. They studied the spectral play of shadows, the eerie stillness that had claimed the house. But there was no trace of Mark, no hint of where he could have gone, no rational explanation for his inexplicable disappearance. The bathroom had transformed into an enigmatic portal, swallowing Mark whole and leaving behind an unsettling mystery. The officers, usually armed with logic and reason, were left baffled. Their faces mirrored the chilling reality of the footage, their eyes reflecting a haunting truth that defied all laws of reality. The spectral depths of Mark's home had claimed him, leaving behind an empty shell of a house and an unsolvable conundrum. The footage, now an eerie document of Mark's final hours, stood as a stark testament to the otherworldly forces at play. Mark had vanished into the spectral depths of his home, leaving behind a mystery that defied logic. The echoes of his disappearance would haunt the neighborhood, a chilling reminder that some mysteries remain eternally unsolved, lurking in the shadowy realm between the living and the unseen. The once bustling home now stood silent, a chilling monument to a mystery that transcended the boundaries of reality. A hush had fallen over the neighborhood, a tangible pall of confusion and unease. The once jovial chatter of neighbors was now replaced with hushed whispers, punctuated by the name Mark. His disappearance, as inexplicable as it was sudden, had sent ripples through the community, leaving a haunting enigma in its wake. The house, once a beacon of warmth and camaraderie, was now a spectral shell of its former self. Its once welcoming facade now held an eerie, unsettling aura, a testament to the inexplicable events within its walls. The once vibrant laughter and spirited conversations that echoed within were now replaced with an oppressive silence, punctuated only by the creaking of old timber and the whispering wind. The neighborhood, once a peaceful haven, was now gripped by an unsettling fear. The children, previously seen playing near Mark's home, now gave it a wide berth, their innocent laughter silenced by the chilling tales of the spectral happenings. Parents would hurriedly cross the street, their hushed whispers carrying tales of the haunting mystery that had befallen their once cheerful neighbor. This was not just a house, it was a chilling enigma that defied the laws of nature and reality, a testament to the mysteries that lurk in the unseen corners of our world. It was a ghostly reminder of the fragility of our understanding of the world around us, a haunting symbol of the unexplained phenomena that transcend the boundaries of our comprehension. Mark's home, once a place of warmth and comfort, was now a chilling monument to a mystery that defied explanation. It stood as a stark reminder of the spectral mysteries that lurk in the shadows, a haunting testament to the unseen forces that blur the lines between the living and the dead. Mark's home now served as a chilling reminder that some mysteries defy explanation, blurring the lines between the living and the unseen.